Hello, everybody. Mike from Southern California again, and you're on the mic. So, I got a simple question for you that I'm sure a lot of people often ask. How do VAs get to conventions? When as fans we go to conventions and we see our VAs, what's the actual process to get them to a convention? Well, the most simple and straightforward answer is they have to be invited. The conventions invite guests to their conventions to bring in people to, of course, bring in money, to make money. Um, Guests come in and they do, they'll do panels. They'll have their own little autograph session. And usually, of course, they, as has been explained in recent months, on Nick Rekieta's stream and stuff like that. Oftentimes, we've gone through some of the contracts. Usually they get a set, usually they get guaranteed a minimal amount, then plus whatever they make over that amount. Now, in recent years, of course, it's gone more towards the idea of the autograph signings. As we all know, Vic was one of the first ones to do this, in which he'd start having like autograph sessions where he'd sign memorabilia, or charging certain amounts for whatever Padilla fan wanted to sign, whether that was a picture, whether that was artwork, what have you, and then eventually people followed suit. So now I know a lot of people are upset with Funimation. Have been upset with Funimation for this year, and a number of their voice actors and actresses. You know, um, and even though I've said this on several occasions, Funimation may be the biggest dog in the show, but they're not the only dog in the show. They're not the only game in town. They may be the biggest, but right now, they're the biggest. Okay, that's an uncomfortable truth that you have to kind of acknowledge that they are the biggest, the most prominent dub company in North America right now. But there are other dub companies out there and other voice actors and actresses. So what I'm gonna focus on today is because um, like through my other projects, like my VA profile is called Voices Big and Small, which I would encourage all of you to be watching those especially when they premiere, to learn more about some of the other voice actors and actresses, though it's not necessarily associated either with Funimation or with Kick Vic. Maybe you'll come to like their work, and also other dub studios, like the two up in Canada, Ocean and Blue Water, the ones in New York, like Media Blasters, TPCI. You know, um, I hope as you guys become more informed on like the other dub studios and some of the other voice actors that are out there, maybe you'll want to start thinking about seeing them at conventions. So once you more more voice actors, know of more voice actors, how then do we get them to conventions? As I said at the beginning of the video, that the most simple and straightforward answer is that they have to be invited. Well, how do how do we end up getting them invited to cons? Well, this is how you do it. What you have to do is you have to contact your local cons, and in a very respectful and polite manner, ask them for whoever you want to see at their con. You need to communicate to them that whether it's Vic or whether it's Todd Havicorn or or whoever it may be, in a very polite and respectful manner, you need to let the conventions know that you want to see them there. Um, So this is some of the guidelines when you do contact. When you email the cons, you can email them through their site. Some of them have Twitter accounts or Facebook accounts. You can contact them there too. It's usually probably best to contact them straight through their websites. And you just where it says contact us, you just click that link on their websites, and it goes to a kind of an email, and with your name, subject, and then the text of the message. So what you do when you get to that point, you write them and you say, I want this person at your con. I want to see this person at your con. Whoever it happens to be. Yeah, and in doing that, in making that request, you need to also explain a couple reasons. And explain, one, why you believe that they should be at the con. You know what's in it for the con. Because some of these lesser known voice actors, unlike Vic and Todd, who are a little more well known, some of the lesser known voice actors, you know, may they may not have as much the money weight, you know. But if, let's say, you have a group of friends who all like the same voice actor, and a number of you write, and if you can, let's say, well, I can at least make sure you get 10 or 15 people to your con, that might make things a little more, you know, appetizing for the cons to invite a particular guest. If let's say five people write the con and say, they can probably bring in like 10 to 15 people. Well, five times, that's 50 to 70, 50 to 75 people. Otherwise, would not be going to their cons. For some of the more well-known voice actors like Vic and Todd, you can also point out, how at other conventions they've drawn big, um, drawn big, and make that more appealing to them. But basically, ultimately, what you have to do, if you want to get Vic to more cons, you want to get Todd to more cons, or if there are other voice actors out there that you know of that maybe their work doesn't get as recognized as much. That, like, for example, Blue Water up in Calgary. They've out of that studio they've dubbed like Mahime, Viper's Creed, Del Toro Quest, which is about a couple years ago on, I think, Discovery Family. Mahime a few years ago was on some of the cable channels here in the States. The original dub of Hunter x Hunter, from the one that was originally done, the Hunter x Hunter series that was done originally in '98, that was dubbed in 2000, or '99, dubbed in 2008. So yeah. So, for example, for some of you Inuyasha fans out there, you know, maybe you've always wanted to meet the English voice of Inuyasha, who happens to be Richard Ian Cox. Richard Ian Cox doesn't get invited to a lot of cons. Aside from Inuyasha, he's not known for, as he doesn't have, let's say, some of the volumes of work like, let's say, Paul and Michael Dobson do, or Kelly Sheridan, or Kirby Morrow. But maybe though you wanted to see Richard Ian Cox, maybe you wanted to meet the English voice of Inuyasha, who also happens to be the voice of Quicksilver, Pietro Maximoff in X-Men Evolution. If you wanted to meet him, and the way you get him to a con is you start contacting your local con and saying, "Hey, I want to see this guy at your con." That's ultimately how you get voice actors to cons, is that they have to be invited. And for the cons to invite them, they need to know there are fans out there who will come to their con, to see these voice actors. So in summation, to get your favorite voice actors to the cons, you need to contact the cons in a very polite and respectful manner and ask them to invite whoever your favorite voice actors or whichever voice actor you want to see. That's how you do it. That being said, if you check the links below, if you want to contact me directly, my Twitter handle will be down there. I'm also promoting a bunch of different dub companies, and I really recommend you guys look into some of the work that these dub companies do, because you'd probably be surprised at some of the things that they've done that you might find that you really like, and you may find out more about some voice actors and actresses that you don't hear a lot about that you might want to invite to more cons. You might want to see at more cons. Also, I'm still promoting, of course, the GoFundMe's, Vic and Vic Ortiz's, and that Umbrella Guys, Indiegogo. As always, guys, never feel like you have to donate. Never feel like you have to donate. If you have the ability to, and it's on your heart to do so, please consider doing so, because nobody wants to see anybody go bankrupt over this. Okay, there are ways to help you. One is by donating, and I'll get to another one in a sec. If you have already donated and you still feel that you have the ability to, and it's on your heart to do so, please consider donating again. And if you're not in a position to donate, if it's, let's say, too much of a financial strain for you, you can still help out by sharing the link, and maybe maybe somebody in your network of friends will see it and say, something, you're right. This guy Vic is getting a bum shack. I do want to help, and maybe there's somebody in your network of friends who may be able to, who may have it on, who may be able to and have it on their heart to give. Sharing the link is just as important, because getting the word out and keeping the conversation going, that helps too. That really helps too. Knowledge is power. Okay. And with that being said as well, if you like this content, please consider liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing. I always, and also remember to hit the notification bell. I always look forward to hearing back from you guys, and in the comments, and I will usually reply back, as long as it's, of course, respectful. And as long as it's respectful, let's keep the civil and respectful. Let's keep the conversation civil. I'm sure most of you. I'm pretty sure that most, if not all of you, do. For those of you who don't, what will happen. I've said this several times, so I'm not gonna keep reiterating it. Because I want to move forward positively with this, and I want to. My goal with my videos is to get the word out. Get the word out that Funimation is not the only game in town. There are other companies that you can support. There are other voice actors that you can support. Many of whom that I have at least talked to online a bit, and feel that they would love your appreciation. So with that, I hope you guys have been watching my videos, watching them through and stuff like that. Hope they proved informative and on at times entertaining as well. And don't forget, tomorrow, aside from the normal video I'll do tomorrow, I also will have the next Voices premiere tomorrow at 5 o'clock. This week I'm featuring Karami Lee, the voice of Lucy Heartfilia from Fairy Tail, Asuna Yuki from Sword Art Online, and Sarada Uchiha from Boruto Naruto Next Generation. Come find out about more of the work she's been involved in and just how long she's been doing this. You know, um, if you're a fan of Karami Lee, hopefully you'll drop by. And if you're not or don't know as much about her work, hopefully this will give you guys more stuff to go look for, to check out more of her work. Anyways, guys, until tomorrow, I'll see you then. Bye.